Hi everyone, welcome to today's game update and AMA. We're super excited to share some of the recent work that we're doing on Angry Dynamite's lab on our game Craft World. So welcome everyone, and I see some people already saying hi in the chat. Can't wait for the updates. Yes, I hope you're as hyped as we are every month to kind of share you what we're cooking up.
Hello, GM, welcome.
GM. All right, let's dive right in. And as always, we're going to start with a quick recap, just also maybe for the community members that haven't had the time to maybe catch up, play the game actively during the last week. So this is just a quick reminder of what was happening. So generally, if you have missed it, at the beginning of this month, there was a very big representation that we called the Era 3 reveal that talked a lot about kind of our vision for the next month, like what we really want to kind of focus on, especially in really doubling down on the multiplayer aspects of the game. So as you can see here, this is one of the slides from the presentation that kind of showed an example of how a global world map could look like in the game and kind of some of the different features that we envision for that in the future. So this is just a reminder, if you've missed watching the Era 3 reveal, now would be a good time to kind of catch up and look that back, and then you'll be kind of up to speed with everything that's in store.
Also be signing off for today and for the week.
All right. Quick check. Agnes, do you still have your Discord open by any chance? I think this was a team member basically just signing off for the day. So please bear with us as we're still kind of getting used to using StreamYard. So we need to kind of get used to the new audio settings that are necessary here. All right, then let's jump a little bit into some of the recent game changes. So very recently, we have introduced what we call the flexible land plot. So now on player level 11, you are able to unlock kind of a new lane of crafting areas that allows you to really very flexibly decide what you want to craft at any given moment. And our hopes was that this really opens up the strategic possibilities for you. You can really focus much more on what your current gameplay needs. And it's also kind of a first step towards the long-term vision that we have for the global world map, because we are kind of introducing these land plots that you can right now just unlock, but maybe in the future earn, acquire through game mechanics like as rewards and so on, to expand your production empire, to give you the sense of ownership. You know, you own certain pieces of the land, and you can kind of expand the land that you own to increase your crafting capabilities. All right, and yeah, so these are just some screenshot examples. So most of you may already know it, but just for those who may have missed it. So also still in these flexible areas with a flexible plot, you can still research now any resource that you haven't researched yet to increase the range of tokens that you can craft. You can now cancel that research. I think that's like a small quality of life improvements that maybe also helps you in the other areas of the game, that if you really feel like I've now started to craft Steam, to research Steam for over a day, but maybe it's way more helpful for me to research something else instead, you can now kind of make that decision to switch. And of course, just a reminder, if you choose to change the resource for any area in the flexible land plot, you will get back like all the resources that you've invested previously. So any cost that you spent on upgrading the factories or just the general unlock cost for the area. So you really can kind of choose to change your strategy without it being punishing to your gameplay. So yeah, thanks for all the feedback that we've already received regarding this very, very first version of a flexible land plot. So we've definitely taken everything in, and I just wanted to share a little bit, like maybe the good and the bad of the current version of the feature, and also later on talk a little bit about what we kind of plan to tackle as a next version of this feature. So what's great is that many of you mentioned the flexible plot adding strategic potential. So I'm just adding here some examples of some community members kind of talking about these specific points. So Katan was saying, the strategic potential has exponentially increased, which is of course great to hear for us, because this is exactly what we wanted to achieve with this feature. And then Max was also raising that it kind of balances out players of various levels, just because, right, you can really like focus on the production of a certain resource and maybe even like kind of gain an edge, like if you just set up all your production to focus on that, even over a player that may actually be way more advanced in the game. So I think that's another great kind of benefit of the introduction. Some of you have mentioned that it allows you to progress faster, the new shortcut to get you back to the base really quickly was also perceived as helpful. And was particularly glad that you kind of saw the potential that this feature has for the future, kind of got you thinking about topics like guilds, where maybe as a guild you may specialize or maybe really play a vital part within your guild because you are choosing to go fully focus on that particular resource. So yeah, it's great that you kind of saw and appreciate like all the strategic depth that this land plot adds to the game. However, of course, we definitely hear you on the more critical feedback that you've shared. And honestly, this is almost the most valuable to us. So thanks a lot like for people who have kind of raised like what they think we should still improve with regards to the flexible land plots. It's great to see that some of you are already saying like, I want more flex land plots, because yes, there will be a way for you in the future to earn more. But yeah, looking a little bit at what we can do better. So it was raised that it's kind of hard right now to keep track of production chains, especially if you want to work towards a more advanced token like Dynamite, for example. You need to kind of go back and figure out like, okay, I first need to craft this token and this token, and then kind of always kind of switch the resource selected for the flexible land plot. So you've raised kind of some usability issues around it and that it feels a little bit like a chore sometimes. So we're definitely taking note of that. And then one more aspect that was raised was that it kind of feels a bit punishing that when you want to switch the resource, it feels like you're destroying something that you built up. Of course, you get back all the resources, but it's still about just that feeling in that moment. Everything is wiped. So these are two topics that we're definitely taking seriously, and we are planning to soon think about like potential ways to address them and to solve them. So if you already have any ideas how we could make your lives better using flexible land plots, we're always very open for that. So feel free to share it at any point in time, if it's now in the chat of the stream, if it's later in our Discord, in the feedback channel. So yeah, never feel shy to share your ideas on how we can make it better. And as always, like you may have noticed already by now, like we really take this iterative approach for any big feature that we're releasing. So it's always about like providing like a first version that already kind of provides the core value, like really allows you to play in new and different ways. But we're always aware that likely this will need more changes, more iterations, also based on your feedback. So yeah, we're definitely not done with improving the flexible land plot. This is just the beginning. And there's one suggestion, actually, an info box explaining the full refund. Yeah, I agree that this might still not be so clear. I think there's a small little note in the panel where you kind of select the resource, but I think it's very understandable that it's easy to miss. So that's a good point as well. And maybe we can think about kind of making that more clearer so it really feels less punishing to switch resources. Thanks for that. All right, then let me know if you have any more comments on the land plots topic before I move on. All right, then let me cover Voya ID. Again, this is just a reminder of the recent changes. So we've introduced kind of the first version of smart accounts. We call it Voya ID. Again, this will allow us to bring many new features to you in the future. For example, we learned that it's kind of a prerequisite for allowing players to provide liquidity for the exchange from inside the game. So this is why we decided to kind of first introduce the concept of smart accounts. And also what it already helps you do right now is connect multiple services to your game account. So for example, you can now connect multiple wallets. You can also have your, Gmail connected, for example, if you want to have basically several authentication methods to kind of get you back into your account. You're now able to do that. I think in the past, right, we often had requests from players, can you please actually manually switch the wallet that is being used for my account? Now you can simply add another login method to your existing account. That should hopefully make your lives a lot easier. All right, then let's talk about, the real interesting stuff. What's coming soon? I think one I already covered, so I'm just going to be quick about it. Flexible land plot improvements for sure. Basically, tackle the feedback that we received from you. Then currently we are working on making the game available on Telegram. We have some challenges to solve around like kind of also login methods on Telegram, but we're really focused right now on kind of getting those out of the way and then adding that basically to the range of platforms that you can play the game on. And I think with Telegram being like a really like up and coming kind of exploding platform right now, this is going to be super interesting for us to widen our reach, to grow our player base, and yeah, basically open up a whole new way how players can get sucked into the Angry Dynamites Lab world and join us on this journey. All right, then let's talk about the world map first version. I think this is actually the most exciting topic when we think really about the Era 3 presentation and us kind of, building like the stepping stones for all of these amazing multiplayer features that we talked about in the Era 3 presentation. So maybe you can let me know if there's anything major you notice about the screenshot that I'm sharing right now. Is there anything new you can spot? And no, I'm not talking about the workers who are for some reason going for a swim. I think this is just a bug in our development version of the game. But maybe you notice anything else that's new here. You know, if we don't have anyone speaking up, I have to ask Agnes actually. Bottom tab, yes, exactly. So we are introducing like a proper bottom HUD navigation, and this will include a shortcut to open the world map. So a little bit of a disclaimer, I'm going to show you now the very first version that we're working on and that we plan to release very likely beginning of next week. But again, this is the first version. We already actually are working on further improvements, but maybe it's even interesting for you to kind of see how we approach features, how we kind of really improve them with every new version of the game. So you're going to see what is kind of going to be released as the very, very, very first version. So basically, as any existing player or a new player reaching player level 10, you will be able to access the world map and claim your spot in the world. And this will really be kind of your spot. And this is actually where you'll be able to see your neighbors, so players who have kind of claimed their base in your surroundings. So of course, this is again like an example from our development build. So you see like we have lots of players who still have like their default name and so on. So hopefully once we launch this actually live with you, we'll see like the world map scattered with lots of cool avatars, like all of your cool chosen usernames. And this will already make it look much more colorful. And you already see like we're playing around with having like slightly different terrains and so on. But again, we already have ideas how we can take this to the next level even further. So basically, yeah, the whole world will be, after you've claimed your world map spot and kind of navigate your region of the world, divided into tiles. They each have like their fixed coordinate. They may have kind of like a different tile type in this most basic version. And you'll already be able to kind of check out the profiles of all the players that are kind of around you. And this is going to be the very, very first version. For this first version, you're just going to be able to kind of navigate your own region. So yeah, we kind of split up the whole global world map into chunks, as we call them, or regions. For now, you're just going to be able to explore your own and kind of view your neighbors. But of course, this is kind of the first step, like the blank canvas upon we want to really build a lot of interesting multiplayer features and also kind of bring in that whole idea of you being able to own land plots, so pieces of land within this shared global world. Okay, then let me know if you have questions so far before I talk about the next topic, because then we can already take like a super exclusive sneak peek at some of the map improvements we are already planning right now. But yeah, let me know if you already have questions regarding the first version of the map. Agnes, I think you're so muted.
Thanks. Yeah, Billy, my blog mentioned previously that a full walkthrough tutorial on how to set up a wallet, especially for people who are new to crypto, would be very helpful. So FYI, we have a wiki page. You can find it if you go to a Discord, and then there's like a wiki channel. And then there are a lot of pages on how the game works, frequently asked questions are answered, and as well there's a whole video tutorial on how to actually set up your first MetaMask wallet. So yeah, head over there, and if there's something missing or not clear, please let us know. We are always happy to like make it even better and explain it better.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's super important for us to make sure that also players who are not familiar with the crypto and blockchain world will have an easy time kind of getting onboarded, and that actually our game can be like a first touch point for them to learn more about the amazing capabilities and the kind of cool new features that this technology actually allows. So that's super good feedback point, and we'll definitely also think about like how we can make that even smoother inside the game. But for now, yeah, the tutorial in the wiki hopefully helps. So there's one more question. Will the world map placements be reset after the mainnet launch, or are these going to be where we are for good? So I think I cannot ultimately answer this for sure right now. I think there's a good chance that we may have to reset them. I think there's even a chance that like as we really flesh out this feature and the features kind of building on top of it, there might be some, light shuffling. So yeah, please bear with us, like as we really want to nail down like these core multiplayer mechanics that as of right now, things are still somewhat subject to change. But generally, right, like we really value like the community that has been with us, even like on our like testnet journey. So we will definitely be thinking about ways like whether it's you being able to keep your world map placement or other ways to kind of reward you for having been there like from the very beginning of the journey, and you being able to kind of carry over some value like even into the game after the mainnet launch. I hope that answers your question. Again, right now I cannot fully commit to say like, yes, it will be exactly the same, or no, we'll have to wipe it. I think this will depend a little bit on the future development of the feature. Okay, then I would go on. So that's, again, like this crystal ball, like a little bit like thinking one step ahead. You've seen the first world map, how it will launch in the very first version. But we are already working on improvements. And again, what you're seeing here is just like a first version. We actually believe that the world map will work much better visually if it's kind of in a more isometric view. And we're already thinking about how we can make it visually more interesting. Again, right now, just thinking about bringing more kind of Angry Dynamite slap IP elements into it. So from the current game, right, you already know like the volcano, like the angry shaped mountains and so on. So how can we make it really feel more like it's part of the Angry Dynamite slap world? So really like thinking about visual improvements, thinking about switching this view. But of course, also this is just going to be one first step, because we have a lot of ideas on how we can actually introduce, traits to different areas of the land that will actually have like some kind of gameplay effect. Again, we covered, I think, a lot of it, like the long-term vision, like in the Area 3 presentation. So that should also, like as we continue and build up on this feature, add even more variety to the world map. I'm going to quickly go back to a question that was raised in the chat. Can you potentially track the resource cost of the base to refund later, as well have some kind of reputation or rank to be rewarded by? Yeah, it's like something like that could definitely be a way to approach kind of the switch to mainnet, that we will kind of like know, right, where every player, like in their account, like maybe via the wallet that they have connected, like where they stand in the game, like still on testnet, and then think about how can we carry over some of that progress, like either directly or, just again, in some kind of meaningful way, give you a little bit of a head start and a little bit of a reward for having been there with us during the testnet phase. But I think in general, right, like you will, I think, have a lot of a head start just from knowing all the intricacies of the game already. You'll have like a lot of experience, like crafting, figuring out all the strategies kind of before we go live on mainnet. So that, of course, will also, I think, be a natural progress that you also take over, but we'll definitely think of more ways. Okay, I'm gonna move on and talk a bit about, again, like the next features that currently we have planned to build on top of the world map. So we believe that it's gonna be relatively simple for us to actually make it possible for you to view another player's base and kind of maybe, I don't know, check out what is their current crafting focus, how high have they upgraded certain feature buildings and so on, like already kind of making the game much more socially interesting, because if you see someone in the leaderboard of the masterpiece, you may think like, let me actually check out what that person's strategy is. So you'll be able to, check each other out. Of course, like just view another player's space. In the future, we may even think of adding additional social features, like maybe you can, leave small gifts there or just be rewarded for visiting other players. But right now, this is about kind of giving you the opportunity to take a sneak peek at what your neighbors or any other player in the game is doing. So I really hope that this will be interesting for you. Let us know, like, if that's actually something that you're looking forward to do, or I don't know, maybe you want to keep it more private. That would also be interesting for us to hear. Then I mentioned right now we're limiting it to you being able to only navigate your region, but our final goal is to have like really a world, like one shared kind of connected world that you can completely explore from one end to the other, even though there will be no end, because as the player community grows, of course, the world will also grow with it. So we will kind of remove the boundaries that will be in place just for the very, very first version. And opt out of the profile viewing for the base setup, I think would go well. Yeah, I think that could be an idea. Like if we have enough people that are kind of raising like, but actually, my strategy is super secret. I don't want anyone to see right now that I'm crafting dynamite. Like maybe we can offer some ways that you can, kind of stay in stealth mode or something like that. Maybe there's even some fun ways we can kind of frame this in game. So I definitely see where you're coming from. Okay, and of course, one of the next topics for us will be thinking about ways that you can earn more land plots. So you can actually start by kind of like occupying pieces of the land, like claiming them for yourself, use them as additional areas where you can craft even more resources to really kind of expand your production capabilities. And of course, all of this is these are still only the first steps. So if you have checked out the Era 3 reveal already, you've heard about like all the different multiplayer features that we're planning, all the dynamic systems regarding like weather effects and so on, where we really have the goal that these will kind of help the game feel like a true economy simulation almost, where also it becomes even more interesting to kind of try to maybe optimize your trades and so on, because very dynamically, right, like what kind of resources are currently in demand, that can change a lot, also maybe depending on where you are in the map, you really be able to kind of carve out your place in the world, expand your empire. And this is just another reminder to check out the Era 3 reveal if you haven't already, because we're just getting started. Okay, I think that would be it from my side. So I'm just going to quickly check if we have more questions. We had this one. Having a building that makes a smoke screen to prevent people from seeing a specific factory. Yeah, I like the way you're thinking, right? Already thinking how we can actually gamify you being able to say, no, I'm in stealth mode. So I'm definitely liking those ideas. And that's exactly what we need. Like, feel free to share all of these ideas for cool things that you'd want to see in the game. Now's the perfect time, or actually always is the perfect time to share those with us. Okay, that would be it from my side. Add pollution you have to control. Yes, that's actually one of the features that we briefly talked about in the Era 3 presentation. Okay, I think I would be handing it over to you, Agnes.
Perfect. Yes, thank you so much. And I'm switching my screen. So if there are other questions, please let me know, or at the end, I will as well have a look and answer them. So we're going to start with the community update, what happened since our last live stream, which was the Era 3 live stream. So we have a really great partnership with the Stepan team, and they just launched their Mochi mini game on More. More is their platform for their NFTs and for their Stepan NFT especially. So they build it for this ecosystem, and it's really great to partner with them. And we had like a special with them, so everyone who was actually holding a dino was able to join the allow list raffle, and we had so many spots that everyone was actually able to get a allow list from the Mochi team, which was super cool. And there was a special NFT they designed for their drop. And everyone who minted their NFTs was actually able to choose a special dino design NFT. And we had over 700 mints who chose this dino. So it's in a lot of wallets now, or this dino NFT design. And so great to see, like, as well, the IP spreading all over, and that so many people actually like the designs and have chosen to like give their Mochi NFT a little twist. So this was really exciting, and we are still in talks with the Stefan team. We have a lot of great ideas to partner together, so there's a lot more coming. Stay tuned for that. And talking about partners, we had as well a Hyperplay Place request. It started about a month ago, and you were able to actually get 200,000 Dino coins from doing the Hyperplay Play Streak. So you just had to head over to Hyperplay, download their application, and then play Craft World for 7 days in a row straight. For only 5 minutes, and then you got already the tokens. So I hope a lot of you have participated and took advantage of actually, giving or going ahead of the leaderboard with so many tokens, which then again in the exchange you can obviously exchange for any other tokens and then contribute to the masterpiece and rise. So the claim is still open. We recently added as well a section into the Hyperplay Notion page, how to claim. So just head over to the announcements. There's you can find the page and then have a look how you actually can claim your Dino coins. That's it for the Hyperplay. And moving on as well, our great game designer Radi, he made a really cool file about the crafting tree, because we noticed that after launching the land plants, actually a lot of people wanted to know how the resources are building on top of each other, what resources are needed to build the next tier resource. So he created a crafting tree where you can really see how everything works and flows together. You can find it in the wiki. So just head over to the Discord. There's like the wiki channel, and the whole wiki page and catalog is linked, and then you can find all this information there. Yes, and we had as well the Water Dino raffle. So a lot of people are always asking how to join, how to get some raffle tickets. So there are several ways. The best way is to own a dino, so either fire or water, doesn't matter, because every month we are switching from mainnet fire tokens and mainnet water tokens, which are needed to actually buy the raffle tickets. And if you don't own a dino, we still want to make it accessible for new players who perhaps as well already like are experiencing the game, but need to see if they actually want to buy a dino or not. Totally understandable. So we have a lot of raffles and quests where you can actually win mainnet fire tokens, and then you can use these tokens to actually mint a raffle ticket. And we have only 150 tickets, and each wallet is allowed to mint up to 10 tickets, which means that if you're lucky, there are only 15 people competing with you to win a Water Dino NFT, which is actually super great. The chances are really good that you win one. Obviously, still some odds in there, but I think this is a really great opportunity to actually get your hands on a Water Dino if you perhaps as well can't afford it, or for obviously any reasons you want to enlarge in your NFT collection. So yes, head over to announcements. We are always doing a lot of raffles, and then if you're lucky and under the top 3, you get some fire tokens, and then you can buy these raffle tickets. And the raffle is always taking place on the last Monday of the month. And before the raffle, we are actually playing a mini game. And the winner of the mini game gets a free raffle ticket. So this is as well another chance to actually get a ticket. You just need to be there at 5 p.m. On the day of the raffle and play the mini game. It's super simple. It's not about like how you, if you are able to accomplish something or be really good in a certain game. It's really about the engagement that you show up, that we see, okay, you're really eager to be part of this community, and we want to be very fair and give everyone a chance to actually join the holders group. So yes, that's a very, very good opportunity as well to get a raffle ticket and then have a chance to win a water dino. I will make a quick pause here to see if there are any questions. I see. Sorry, I clicked away. Or for people with too much time and financial difficulties. Yes, of course. It's, I think as well, like when you head over to a game, if you get like really involved, you're spending a lot of time in it. So we really loved it to see you guys grind and yeah, join all the opportunities to actually be part of this community. What was the date for the minigame? So it's every last Monday of the month at 5 PM CET. But all these dates are as well linked in our events section in the Discord. So you can go to the Discord, and on the top left, you see events, and then you have all the dates exactly for the minigame. And then you can as well click on get reminded, and then there will be a pop-up when it's happening. So you have actually an automatic reminder.
Agnes, do you mind if we quickly address one more question, even though it's not directly community related? I think it was at the end of the game update. So Tim was asking, are there strategies in place to attract players outside of Web3, such as traditional gamers, to make the game more accessible to those unfamiliar with blockchain? Yes, so it's again like super important for us that this game, we're not building like a niche game for people that are like only for people that are already super deep into the Web3 space. So it's very important for us also that we just build a generally enjoyable game, and then just leverage blockchain to kind of build features that maybe without it like wouldn't be possible. So for example, we're already experimenting with running very traditional advertising campaigns in other games. So that's like a very typical kind of user acquisition strategy within the mobile game space to get more users for your game. And so we're not doing this like really at full scale, or we're not trying to grow yet. We're still kind of in this phase where we want to make sure we build a game that can really keep players engaged in the long term and that can be successful. But we're already on the side running these experiments with advertisement over the traditional channels to make sure we are able to communicate the game idea in a way that kind of resonates with the more typical gamer out there. So yeah. We are definitely working on kind of being prepared, and right now this also looks promising. I hope I was able to answer your question. Let me know if there's any follow-up questions you may have. Okay, gonna give it back to you for now, Agnes.
Okay, yeah, great. Thank you so much. So let's move on with the Tagverse tournament. So the Galactic Drift is back, and you can play again the Tagverse tournament. It's actually hosted by one of our community members. So we are always happy to support you guys. And it's a 3-day tournament. You can win as well mainnet fire tokens in addition to tag coins. So the first 3 placements get actually rewards. The first place even gets like a golden ticket from the Tagverse community and team because they are planning on a mint at some point. So this is as well very cool. And the second place for this tournament as well gets additionally to their fire tokens water raffle ticket added. So yeah, really cool. It's as well some kind of mini game. It's really fun. You should try it out, and if you're good and grind a little bit, you can get some fire tokens. And talking about raffles and how you can actually get some tokens to join the monthly Water Dino raffle, we had as well the era-free summer raffle. So this was another opportunity for you to join and actually contribute with your ideas and thoughts. So we asked what are some must-haves for the global map, as well, like getting some feedback and some vision from you guys, and to see what you would actually like to have on the map, or you would like us to go. So yeah, we always take every feedback very seriously and really appreciate everyone who's contributing, because yeah, at the end we want that you guys are having fun and that it's actually a cool game to play. So thanks so much for everything what you envision and for all these contributions. And I will announce the winners of this raffle by tomorrow, and the first 3 places are as well winning a Mainnet Fire tokens.
Just gotta say, this game is so epic. I feel like we almost have to give like an epilepsy warning or something, because it's so crazy. I love it.
Nice, yeah. So yeah, moving on. The last week, it was last week, we had a team week, and I posted a recap this week. It's really great because we get a whole team, which is like someone is sitting in London, and we have people in Hamburg. The main core team is still in Berlin though, and we flew everyone in. We met at the Voya headquarters here in Berlin, and we had an amazing week where we actually met in person and worked on the game together in real life. And we had a really cool team building event where it was really all about like fostering the trust and like collaboration within the team as well. And then we had a really awesome team dinner to just like feel even more closer with everyone. And yeah, it's always great days and always great to see everyone. And yeah, talking about real life events, we will as well have a Dino Jungle Bash community event. It will take place on the 16th of November, so save the date. We will actually share a Luma registration very, very soon, so you can already register for it. It's capped, so be fast. But obviously, we will nobody will have to wait and not get in. So everyone who's part of our community or even like interested in gaming or a part of like the Berlin crypto or gaming community or even wider than that is very welcome. So if you're enthusiastic about our game or obviously a holder, like part of this community, please come. It will be a blast. It will be a super cool event. There will be great food, great drinks, great people. We obviously will do a lot of activations. We will play cool games. We will do a quiz. You can win a lot of stuff. There will be a lot of merch just like that lying around, and it will be epic. I hope I see all of you there. So yeah, let's see what else we actually did in the last few weeks. Yeah, this is some alpha for what's coming next. So I've set up today the Dino community. I will announce it by tomorrow. You can find it on Twitter. So it's like a really dedicated community and channel on Twitter where we join, or we have included other Twitter channels which are really talking about gaming, Web3 gaming, or like crypto related stuff, or even like in general something what we think is like really worth for you to read. So it's like more a curated Twitter timeline, and we as well would love for like the community and every one of you to join the community, and as well to include you guys to this timeline, so that you can see what other community members are posting. A lot of you are actually talking about the game, but it might get lost because you're not following each other or something like that. So this is really a place where as well the community can meet on Twitter, read about each other, see each other posts, and then as well have this like curated information and news from like other influencers who are like really having very interesting opinions and visions about Web3 gaming or gaming in general. And yes, as well, perhaps you have noticed already that Revo as well kicked off his Twitter game. So he like really is posting a lot of content right now about like how he envisions the future of Web3 gaming. It's super, super interesting to see as well, like, what might be the next steps for a game. And it's a great opportunity to get ahead. So he's obviously part of this whole stream, but as well head over and just like give him a like so you will not miss any news. And then, last but not least, as well, talking about community on Twitter, Katan has set up the coolest Twitter account ever. It's the Daily Dino, and he put a lot of effort to it. So huge shout out to you, Katan. Thank you so much. It's really awesome. It's a newsletter, so it's your gazette for all Dino news. He's explaining how the game is working. Obviously, he sees as well, like, frequently asked questions, and like sees, okay, where are some opportunities where perhaps things are not totally clear to especially new players. So he's like really talking about that, and as well recently had a section to talking about like top pick dinos on OpenSea, which is really interesting because like each dino produces different amount of tokens. So it's interesting to compare the traits and the token production with as well the price. So he did a real deep dive into that and chose for you the top pick. So it's a really curated, great information about our game and about what we are doing and the whole ecosystem around it. So as well, I can really encourage you to head over to the Daily Dino Twitter account, give him a follow, and read about everything he's posting. So I came to an end, and thank you, everyone. Let's see what kind of questions we had.
It looks like so far we covered everything.
Yeah. Okay, yes, cool. Thank you so much for joining. Leo, do you have anything you want us to tackle? Otherwise, I would say as well, it was really great to see so many guys, so many players, and so many community members here. I just see like 120 people watching this live stream. Really, really cool. We shared this on YouTube and on Twitter. So and we will do this format from now on. So next month, every first Thursday of the month, we have this AMA. And it will be from now on always this kind of live stream. So just head over, post your questions, and looking forward to see you all in 4 weeks.
Yeah, and maybe to add, right, we always ask for feedback regarding the game, but if you ever have feedback regarding what you want to kind of get out of these AMAs, that's also like super helpful for us. So we can kind of like improve it as we go and make sure we really cover the topics that are most important and interesting for you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Until next time.
Good one.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.